And I'd like to close with something I think is equally important. We're all here because we care about schools. But as adults, we should care also about the workplace. And there's a company here in the state of Florida that has been promoting critical race theory more than any other company in the country. You might have heard of this company. It's called Walt Disney. Last year, I did an investigative report on Disney where I exposed their critical race theory program. I'm going to read a couple of their principles they're promoting. The Disney executive said, quote, the U.S. has, quote, a long history of systemic racism and transphobia. It encouraged white employees to do a white privilege checklist and a white fragility psychological test. These tests are not psychological tests that you would see in a legitimate sense, but they automatically assume your guilt. If you're white, you have white fragility. You have white privilege. No matter where you come from, no matter what your circumstances. Disney also told employees that, quote, individualism, timeliness, and competition are, quote, white dominant values that should be rejected. This is not only absurd. Individualism is not exclusively for people of any race. And it's extremely patronizing, and I'm going to say it, racist, to suggest that people of color can't show up on time and aren't individuals. In some of their materials, they also promoted that, and this is going to be hard to believe, but it's true. I have it on my website for the media that wants to fact check this, that white babies, quote, discriminate against other races and become full-blown racists by age 4. And in closing, Disney tells its employees to reject the principle of equality, which means equal treatment, and embrace the principle of equity, which means equal outcomes. Now, how many of you had families escape from communist countries? How does equity and equal outcomes turn out in reality? It turns out into a nightmare, poverty, starvation, gulags, and killing of innocent people. We're in the very initial stages down a very dark path, and thankfully the legislators of Florida had said, not in this state, not in this country. And I'd like to close with a direct message to the CEO of Disney, Bob Chapek. This program called Reimagine Tomorrow is not only morally wrong, it is now illegal in the state of Florida.